Hello and welcome to a FIFA 18 career mode experiment. I'm Bromo18 and today I'm going to be taking a look at how Aberdeen, Celtic and Rangers would fare in the Premier League. Now, it's important to note that I've swapped them for the three newly promoted sides as they were the lowest rated in division, so that's Newcastle, Brighton Hove Albion and Huddersfield Town. And I've chosen to be Spurs because I'm predicting, although obviously I could be wrong, but I'm predicting that all three of them will end up being in a relegation battle, so I don't want to give them any sort of upper hand in the sense of being a club fighting for relegation, to avoid relegation, because then they won't be making any transfers and so ever, because I'll be simulating. So the way we're going to do this is I'll simulate to deadline day so we can have a look at both how the clubs have started and also if they've made any signings whatsoever. Then I'll simulate up until January transfer window deadline day. Again, we'll recap on how they're doing so far, and then I will check on any transfers they've made, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Really, I'm not sure how many seasons I'm going to do, but we're going to take a look. And on that note, I will see you shortly. Okay, so welcome back. It is transfer deadline day. We have 1 hour to go, so all transfer business is effectively done now. So first of all, let's check excuse me, how they are doing in the league. So Rangers just above the relegation zone. They've had 2 draws, to be fair, which is not bad in 3 games. Same as Celtic actually. Aberdeen are actually unbeaten. They've drew all 3 games, so a pretty standard start to their seasons. Nothing too drastic to shout about. And, I mean, they'd all be pleased with finishing in those positions at the end of the season. Tottenham actually had Rangers on the first game of the season, but won 3-1. So that is what Rangers' only loss has been, which is nothing to be shouted at really. In terms of transfer business, Aberdeen spent quite small, less than 2.5 million. They signed this guy who I don't have a clue who he is, Carlitos, and then Ryan Fredericks as well, from Fulham for about 1.5 million. So they haven't really spent the big bucks. I don't think they start off with too big of a transfer budget, to be honest. Celtic are a bit more extravagant. They've gone and spent around 17 million. Massimo Haidara in there, Zudiga as well. They've actually sold 2 of their better players, James Forrest and Kieran Tierney, for only 7.5 million combined, which is really strange. I'm really surprised that the prices would be that low, especially now that they're in the Premier League. You'd expect the prices to expand, but no, they've sold them quite cheap. And in terms of Rangers, we'll just go up to them now. They've done quite well, to be fair. 7 million. They've signed McLean. That can't be James McLean. I'd be shocked if that was James McLean. Lammers and Dermisi, and haven't sold anyone. So yeah, they're doing okay as well in terms of transfer business. But yeah, pretty steady start. Now I'm going to simulate to the end of the January transfer window and see how the teams will then be getting on. I'll see you shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back. It is now almost the end of the January transfer window and it's time for another recap. But first things first, what I need to show you is I did actually search it up, and it turns out that it was actually James McLean that we all know from West Brom, who Rangers signed. So as we all know, FIFA 18 doesn't take religious context into account. But on a more pressing note, if we have a look at the transfers, it's been a pretty quiet one. Aberdeen have only signed 2 players. One of them is a free agent. I'm not sure which one it is though. They've had a fairly quiet transfer window. Celtics has been a bit more busy, although everyone has been on a free. Scott Sinclair is actually leaving at the end of the season on a free transfer. I'm going to check who to in a minute. In fact, I'm going to do it now. We'll have a look. So this is the goalkeeper they've just signed on loan from Fiorentina, Drakovsky. I mean, what a catch them sides. Moussa Dembele is still with them. I imagine he's one of their key players, as he is anyway. Where is he? I've gone past him. Where's he gone? I mean, surely they didn't loan him out. That would be madness. Let's have a look. Yep, they did actually loan him out to Girona FC. I mean, that is really strange. That is beyond me. I mean, he's one of their best players. That's really strange. But yeah, that's weird. Costa as well, they've signed. I'm not sure what Costa is. I was wondering if it was Helder Costa for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but not quite sure. I'll have to check into that one. And Rangers, on the other hand, have signed someone called Danilo, and that's it. Another quiet one. They haven't actually sold any players so far this season, so they're still doing their thing. I'm going to have a look just quickly, just to see if... no, in fact, I'm going to search for this Danilo outright. I mean, there's so many. I'm not sure which one to go. That's going to be the one for thinking of, isn't it? Of course, Man City. Not sure. I'm not going to go and find it. But yeah, so a pretty quiet one for all of them, really. A couple of strange decisions. James McLean has got Sinclair in particular. Now we'll have a look at how they're getting on in the league. Oh, it's bad news. Aberdeen, 4 points adrift in 19th place. Rangers also in the relegation zone. They're joint with Celtic on points, but Celtic are beating them on goal difference. It's going to be tight end. I mean, Celtic are in the abyss. Absolutely nowhere. Rangers have actually got a few more wins than the other two, but they've got a lot less draws, under half. And Celtic, meanwhile, have drew almost every game apart from... excuse me, they've drew the second most games apart from Man City. So, yeah, they're finding it pretty tough. It's not over yet, though. Still a couple of teams. I mean, look at Arsenal. I'm absolutely shocked about that. Arsenal in 15th place. You know what? We're also going to have a look at the other trophies as well. See how well they're doing in those, if they're doing anything at all. First of all, where's the League Cup? Oh, so Rangers actually made it to the semi-final and then lost 5-1 against Chelsea. Celtic lost to Manchester United 2-1 in the round of 16, so you know you can't really shout at either of them there. But then Aberdeen lost to Millwall, with championship opposition, so they'll be really disappointed about that. But yeah, it's been a pretty dismal season for them, but still a lot of time to go. I'm actually going to simulate it now until the end of deadline day, and then I'll be back shortly just to see if anything else happens before the end. Okay, so we're back at the end of deadline day. Not a lot more has happened in terms of Aberdeen's transfer business. They've sold a player for 130k and that's about it, so they won't be making any more signings. But Celtic, on the other hand, have actually signed Eric Choupo-Moting from Stoke. I'm going to check that now because it says they haven't spent anything, so I'm wondering if it's a loan. Just have a look at that now. It is a loan, yep, signing from Stoke, so they're still going for it, and rightly so as well. I see no reason why they shouldn't. So that's a decent signing for them. A bit of a catch. If we have a look at Rangers, have they made any more business? No, they haven't. So that's it for the January transfer window. I'm now going to simulate to the end of the season, and we shall see how the relegation battle fares. Hello everyone and welcome back. It is one game before the end of the season. I've decided to simulate up until now just in case there is still some last day heroics so that we can check on that as well. So let's find out how our three experimental teams, Aberdeen, Celtic and Rangers, have fared since deadline day in January. Well, that table makes for negative reading. Rangers and Aberdeen have actually both been relegated. It is confirmed with 1 game to go by a massive distance. 12 points separates those two teams from Celtic, who have avoided the drop. Unsurprisingly, they were top of the 3. But in fact, Rangers haven't actually won a game since we last checked at the end of January. So that is really poor. They've had a really horrid time second half of the season. They've actually lost more than everyone else by 4 games, which is really, really poor. They've conceded the most goals. Aberdeen second most. So, disappointing for them in the end. But Celtic have remained in the division. Palace are the only team worse than the 3. So yeah, that's it really. Just check on how they did in the FA Cup, if they did anything at all. Let's have a look. So in the FA Cup, nothing really. In fact, none of them even made the round of 16, so they had a pretty torrid time in that as well. Didn't pull up any trees whatsoever, which is a shame really. It would have been nice to see all 3 of them amount of push, to be fair. We'll just simulate this last game just to see who out of Rangers and Aberdeen ends up finishing above one another, even though it doesn't make any difference now in terms of the relegation battle. Let's just check here. Aberdeen, they managed to draw, Rangers lost. So Aberdeen finished 18th, Rangers 19th, and Celtic 17th. So I'm actually going to do one more season. I'm going to see how Celtic fare with the second season, and also if Rangers and Aberdeen can actually mount a promotion push in the second season. Obviously, I won't be able to check what transfers the other 2 are doing, but I'll try and keep up to date with them as best as I possibly can. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is the second season. And now it is just Celtic, as you've just seen in the Premier League. Rangers and Aberdeen will now be attempting a promotion push from the Championship back to the Premier League. I'm now going to simulate straight to the end of the season because of the fact that we've got 2 less teams to focus on in terms of transfers. So I will see you shortly at the end of the season. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is 3 games until the end of the season, and it is time to check just how everyone is doing. And as you're going to see here, Celtic are having an unbelievable season. 6th place, 2 points off of 2nd place. That is, quite frankly, unbelievable. They're having a really good season. In fact, I'm still manager of Tottenham on this. They could end up overtaking Tottenham. So we'll have to wait and see. But wow, I mean, I really wasn't expecting that above Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Everton. They've really had a quite simply magnificent season. Fair play to them. Still 3 games to go. They can actually make Champions League as well. They've actually just lost to Stoke, who are 5th. And they've played 1 game more than the teams around them, which could end up, biting them in the back. But we shall see. We'll check now on the progress of Rangers and Aberdeen as well in the Championship. If we have a look here, Rangers are actually 6th, they're in a playoff spot, and the season has actually finished as well, so they've finished in the playoffs. We'll wait and see just how well they do. Whereas Aberdeen, 16th, they've had a really poor season. Not quite what they'd have been hoping for. I imagine they'd have been wanting to push for promotion as well as Rangers, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, Rangers on the other hand, they'll be fairly pleased. We'll have to wait and see how well they do in the playoffs. But yeah, not a bad season for them either. Whereas Aberdeen, on the other hand, will be very disappointed. So I'm going to simulate now until the end of the Premier League season, just to see where Celtic end up as well, and then we'll check if we can on how Rangers did as well. Hello everyone, and welcome back once more. It is the end of the season now, and time to find out if Celtic were able to make it into the Champions League spaces. As you can see, they just missed out by 3 points. However, the fact that they finished 6th means that they've probably got a Europa League spot, which is really impressive. I imagine so anyway, providing one of the Champions League teams or Stoke were able to win either the league or the FA Cup, in which case then they definitely will. And that's it really. I'm going to simulate to the start of next season just to find out if Rangers were able to win the playoffs and get promotion back to the Premier League. And then afterwards we'll probably call it a day there, so I'll be back shortly. Hello and welcome back. It is the start of the third season and we're just here to check if Rangers managed to win the playoffs and managed to get promoted back to the Premier League. And as you can see here, no they didn't. They did lose out in the playoffs unfortunately, which means Celtic are the only team out of the three originals to remain in the Premier League. And on that note, I think it's time to end there. It's been pretty eventful, to be fair. A lot of strange things happening, which we probably won't talk about ever again. But it's just interesting just to see. In fact, I might do one where the three teams start in the Championship as well and see how they fare then as well. Because I know that's another argument, but it's a video for another day. So look out for that. But on a side note, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a dislike if you did enjoy it and tell me what I can do to improve. I've got a lot of other things happening on my channel as well. With Bristol Rovers Career Mode Save, we've got a FIFA 19 Career Mode wish list, which as of the time of recording this, I've done 2 parts so far. Expect a third minimum, possibly a fourth. And other things as well, some Ultimate Team features. So please go and check that out if you can. And on that note, it is time to leave. I've been Bramo18. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.